We have a lot going on in the race for the Republican nomination today. As we told you earlier, Donald Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, has been charged with misdemeanor battery.
This video released by the Jupiter, Florida Police Department shows former Breitbart reporter Michelle Fields at a Trump event on March 8th. Lewandowski appears to grab Fields as she tried to ask Trump a question.
In a statement from the Trump campaign, Lewandowski denied the charges, saying Mr. Lewandowski was issued a notice to appear and given a court date. He was not arrested. Mr. Lewandowski is absolutely innocent of this charge. He will enter a plea of not guilty and looks forward to his day in court. He is completely confident that he will be exonerated.
CBS News senior political editor Steve Chaggaris is in Washington, and political media reporter Hadas Gold is in Arlington, Virginia. Thank you both so much for being with us. I want to start, though, with Steve. What do you make of this?
Well, Corey Lewandowski's got some questions to answer, clearly. I mean, from the very beginning, he was adamant he never touched Michelle Fields, and that was clearly not the case as you look at this video. So he's got some questions to answer about what happened here. What does this mean for the campaign moving forward? It's not often you see campaign managers in legal trouble. It's also not often you see candidates sort of standing so defiantly with with the campaign manager who's been charged with battery. But you know, ultimately, I'm not sure what is going to happen here. I mean, every time something like this happens involving the Trump and the Trump campaign, I'm asked, okay, so is this the straw that breaks the camel's back? And I just don't see, after going through what we've gone through over the last, 9 or 10 months or so with the Trump campaign, that this is going to sway any kind of Trump supporter. Now, are there Republican voters? Are there Republicans in Washington and around the country who are exasperated with these distractions, this chaos that seems to surround the Trump campaign? Are they worried about what kind of effect it would have in a general election if Trump is the nominee? Absolutely. And this just sort of feeds that. But at the same time, I don't think this kind of individual event is going to have any kind of effect on the hardcore people that support Trump. In fact, it may bolster their support in a sense. This is the Trump campaign going after the media in a sense. And Trump supporters aren't actually fans of us. So they see something like this and they're probably just going to say, you know what, this is just Corey Lewandowski's campaign manager protecting his boss from a reporter. And that's fine with Trump supporters, perhaps.
Hadas, speaking of that, does it make a difference that Trump's campaign has often showed disdain towards the media, as Steve pointed out? And this is not the first time Lewandowski's behavior has been called into question.
Right. You know, we at Politico, we had a big report a couple weeks ago actually looking into Lewandowski's history. This is far from the first time he's been involved in some situations such as this, either with even people that he's worked with or with other reporters. Reporters who follow the Trump campaign and who work with Lewandowski on a regular basis have lots of, you know, incidences that they recall of either being kind of physically moved by Corey Lewandowski, or we've even reported on sexually inappropriate comments that he's made to and about female reporters. So, you know, Corey Lewandowski, he was formerly trained as a police officer. People often say that he kind of takes on this almost a security officer element to protecting Donald Trump. And, you know, Steve was totally right about how his supporters will likely see this. You know, in their minds, Donald Trump can do no wrong. In their minds, this reporter was the one in the wrong. I mean, just a few moments ago, we had a Trump surrogate on CNN saying that, you know, well, maybe the reporter shouldn't have been so much up into Donald Trump's face. You know, that's the way that they're going to spin this, and saying, you know, the campaign can do no wrong. We've seen, on the other hand, we've seen on other campaigns, people be fired within, you know, moments for posting things on Facebook. And so we're talking about a physical altercation here. So the Trump campaign has said they're going to stand completely by Corey Lewandowski. It's doubtful this will really affect anything in terms of his supporters, though.
So just a few moments ago, Ted Cruz, Donald Trump's rival, addressed the media on this situation. We want to go ahead and play that quickly.
Well, it's a very sad development, and this is the consequence of the culture of the Trump campaign, the abusive culture. When you have a campaign that is built on personal insults, on attacks, and now physical violence, that has no place in a political campaign. It has no place in our democracy. And I think it is a really unfortunate development, but I do think it helps clarify for the voters what the Trump campaign is all about. And my focus is not going to be on the personal insults. It's not on the attacks. My focus is on a positive, optimistic, conservative agenda for this country. How we turn the country around, how we bring jobs back to America, how we bring manufacturing jobs back to Wisconsin, how we see wages rising again, how we expand opportunity for young people. That's my focus. And it's why we're seeing such incredible energy and enthusiasm here in Wisconsin. It's why today we were very honored to earn the support of Governor Scott Walker, one of the strongest conservatives in the country, a strong, principled governor here in the state of Wisconsin, and it's the latest development in Republicans continuing to unify behind our campaign.
So, Steve, Wisconsin looking like a very, very tight race now. Could this incident be the difference to tip the scales possibly in Cruz's favor?
I think there'll be a lot more than just this incident. Clearly, Cruzs, and I think you're hearing from Kasich's people as well, they're trying to play on this theme that Trump's a bull in a china shop. That's not what the Republican Party needs in their nominee. And so they continue to hammer that theme. But there's a lot more going on here. I mean, you heard Cruzs talking about Walker's endorsement. It's going to be interesting to see what positive and or negative effects that has on this race. Walker is not necessarily the most popular guy in Wisconsin right now. However, he is emblematic of, I think, the establishment, but also the anti-Trump sentiment that's going on in the party right now. And so that potentially could be a boost for Cruz. There's, in terms of ground game, who's got the stronger ground game in Wisconsin? Cruz has been he spent the last week there and is going to spend the upcoming week there campaigning. But he's also been on the ground sort of getting people organized and ready to go for next Tuesday. Is that going to be enough to push him over the top? So it's going to be a lot more than just, I think, a Corey Lewandowski charge of assault that's going to decide what's going to happen next Tuesday in Wisconsin.
Hadas, you interviewed Michelle Fields about this. What did she say to you in terms of why she was grabbed?
You know, she's written publicly about this as well, when she said that she was just trying to ask Donald Trump a question about affirmative action and about the Supreme Court, when she just felt she was suddenly grabbed. She didn't see who it was initially. And, she has said later that she has heard from her colleagues that allegedly Corey Lewandowski did not know that she was a reporter with Breitbart. There's a whole other element of the story here, which is that Breitbart, the place that she used to work for, has been called kind of a pro-Trump website, and they've seen several of its now former staffers resign over this incident and over how the website has seeming to be very pro-Trump in all of their writings. And so she was saying that from what she understands, it was because he did not recognize her as a reporter for this outlet, and that's part of the reason why she was grabbed. Now, we've had, like I said, several other incidences where other reporters, other camera people have been moved or kind of moved aside forcefully by Corey Lewandowski, and it can be for anything because, they didn't want that certain reporter to be asking a question to just getting them out of the way, it seems.
We did see, a few weeks ago, a Time freelance reporter who was, taken down by the Secret Service. But as we reported here at CBS News, he clearly provoked the Secret Service agent. So did she say that did she think she was being too aggressive?
No, I mean, as a lot of other reporters have now been pointing out, it's very common in, these kind of rope line situations where everybody is kind of crowding around the candidate and trying to get a quote in, trying to ask questions. And as you can see from the video that the Jupiter Police Department has posted, Donald Trump was walking through actually the press area. You can see right next to him tables with computers. That's where the press is. And he was walking through the crowd and talking to reporters and signing autographs and things like that. And if people are getting too close for the candidate, usually it's Secret Service are the ones who are pushing people back. That's what's unusual in this situation is Corey Lewandowski is the campaign manager. It's almost never the campaign manager who's doing physical security for the candidate. The Secret Service, their main goal is to protect the candidate. And so if they feel that somebody is a threat, if they feel somebody's getting too close, they're not afraid at all to push people back. And that wasn't the case here. It was the campaign manager taking on that role.
Hadas Gold and Steve Chaggaris, thank you both so much for being with us.
Thanks.
Thank you.